Let's talk about War of the Worlds, because this is just everywhere. Since H.G. Wells published The War of the Worlds in 1898, the story has been retold in nearly every medium imaginable, from Orson Welles' infamous 1938 radio broadcast that sent listeners into a panic, thinking it was a real alien invasion, to Byron Haskin's colorful 1953 film adaptation, to Steven Spielberg's 2005 version with Tom Cruise, which emphasized spectacle and human drama on a blockbuster scale. Each version has tried to capture the terror and awe of humanity's first contact with an overwhelming alien force. Now, this new 2025 Amazon Prime adaptation takes that legacy and funnels it into a pandemic-era screen life experiment, but it strips away the tension, scope, and human stakes that made earlier adaptations work. Instead of a sweeping alien invasion epic, we spend 90 minutes watching Ice Cube monitor security cameras while the world ends somewhere off-screen. And this film was shot during the pandemic, mostly in isolation, and you can tell it feels like a half-finished project that sat on a shelf for half a decade before being quietly released on Amazon Prime, with minimal promotion. It's a clear sign the studio had little faith in it. The trailer came out a week before the movie. Now, we're going to get into some spoilers. This is a ridiculous movie. I feel like you can kind of go into it already knowing things. I watched this movie after already seeing some Instagram reels, so be warned, there's going to be mild spoilers, but let's get into it. So in this movie, Ice Cube plays Will Radford, a Department of Homeland Security officer with access to every camera in the world. It's actually a good concept on paper. Now, while tracking a hacker known as Disruptor, meteors crash to Earth, unleashing giant alien machines. The aliens' goal is not to wipe out humanity, but to harvest their data from global servers. Now, later in the movie, Will discovers that this Disruptor is his son, that the government knew the aliens fed on data, and that the DHS director, played by Clark Gregg, in a small but committed role, knew about this system and that it would alert the aliens. And with the help of hackers, Will tries to stop the invasion by planting a virus in the alien systems. It works briefly before failing. The hackers are killed and the military plans to bomb DHS to destroy Goliath. Will and his daughter shut it down in time, and the aliens are defeated. Now, keep in mind, this all happens within a span of 82 minutes. It's an incredibly cheap-looking blockbuster that also doesn't take its audience seriously at all. It's an insult to whoever's watching this. And I don't think the Screen Life format is bad necessarily. Screen Life as a format can be effective. Films like Searching an Unfriended Dark Web and even Missing use it to build tension, tell stories through visual clues, and create a sense of immediacy. They exploit the way characters interact online to reveal personality and advance the plot. In War of the Worlds, the Screen Life approach is used as a cost-cutting measure. Most of the movie consists of static shots of security feeds, stock footage, and Ice Cube clicking between camera angles. The format isn't integrated into the story in a meaningful way. Instead, it limits the scope. We don't experience the invasion, we see it happen to other people through impersonal, low-quality feeds. Rather than placing us in the center of the chaos, the Screen Life framing distances us from it. We watch events secondhand, removing any emotional weight or urgency. And also, the story and character logic is ridiculous. The writing suffers from a lack of setup and payoff, leading to moments that feel unintentionally absurd. Will's pregnant daughter is mentioned only once in passing. We don't even know she's really pregnant. We hear there's a baby shower, but then this abruptly becomes central to a tense escape sequence, all while Will is told to join a Zoom meeting. Like Ice Cube is trying to get his daughter into a Tesla. He's trying to hack a Tesla to get his pregnant daughter out of this city that's blowing up. And we didn't even know she was pregnant, and now he's trying to hack into a Tesla and drive her somewhere else. It's just ridiculous, the whole thing. Then there's Eva Longoria's character, a NASA scientist named Sandra, introduced not with the scene or proper dialogue, but simply as Sandra NASA in Ice Cube's phone contact, she calls him. That's it. Her role is to call periodically with exposition, and then, for reasons never explained, she just starts traveling alone to alien crash sites with no backup, no equipment, crew, and no purpose beyond telling Will and the audience what's happening. Later, she drops her camera during an alien attack, and the screen glitches in a way that makes no sense. She's not in a Zoom call, she's not live streaming, yet her video distorts like a bad sci-fi effect. Even stranger, Ice Cube's reaction to her supposedly being attacked by these aliens is completely flat, as if he just watched someone lose a game of solitaire instead of being like, whatever happened to her. She ends up alive too, which is weird. I thought she died. The movie's very all over the place. But scenes like this highlight how the movie often presents major events without emotional connection or logical consistency. And the visual execution is just also something terrible. The visual effects are among the weakest elements. They look like early test renders that were never finalized, which may be the case given the film's long delay. The alien machines just look like something out of a PS4 game. I mean, they're really bad. They lack weight or presence, and their integration into live-action footage is clumsy. The Sandra NASA glitch is a prime example of effects used without understanding their purpose. The distortion is meant to imply danger, but without a believable reason for why the image is breaking up. It just feels artificial. It's a moment designed for style without grounding in reality, and it ends up pulling the viewer out of the experience. The few moments where the film attempts traditional cinematography are equally underwhelming, suggesting either minimal planning or severe production limitations. Combined with the reliance on stock footage, the result is visually flat and repetitive. Perhaps the most uncomfortable aspect is the film's uncritical portrayal of mass surveillance. Will is shown monitoring every camera on Earth, spying on his adult children, and even interfering in their personal lives. And yet he's framed as the hero. By the end, Amazon products and DHS systems are depicted as the tools that save humanity. This comes across as less science fiction commentary and more as corporate self-promotion. It's especially glaring given Amazon's own public statements about AI-driven content generation and its political donations, which makes the film's messaging feel more like propaganda rather than accidental. War of the Worlds just represents everything a movie that this genre shouldn't do. With rare exceptions, stories need on-screen conflict to drive them. Characters must move, react, and face obstacles in real time. If they remain stationary for most of the runtime, the result feels static and uneventful. This is a big action blockbuster, but it feels like nothing's happening. This is a movie where nearly every character is on a computer, and explaining or being explained to is a surefire way to drain tension. There's obviously ways to do this right, like in films like Missing or Searching. The screen life is essential to solving the mystery, and those movies also had very great characters with stories and backgrounds you could get behind. There's really no background here besides this kind of cardboard plot where Ice Cube's wife died and his kids resent him for it. It's the oldest story in the book, the oldest cliche, but this movie mines nothing new from it. In sci-fi and action especially, this film is scraping the bottom of the barrel. Here, the invasion is almost entirely told through news feeds, websites, and phone calls. Even moments that could have landed, like a scene where a data virus erases photos from Will's late wife's Facebook page, pass by without impact because the surrounding material is so flat and corny. The ending crystallizes the problem. Ice Cube teams up with his hacker son, his scientist daughter, and her Amazon driver boyfriend on a Zoom call with Sandra NASA. They plan to send the daughter's code to the aliens via a Prime Air drone, which flips mid-flight. They then hack into a random civilian's phone and bribe him with a $1,000 Amazon gift card to flip the drone back, saving the world. It's a last-minute pileup of underdeveloped arcs, corporate product placement, and cartoon logic. The final shot? The family reunited, the boyfriend still wearing his Prime cap. And another thing that just doesn't make sense is this daughter is supposed to invent this cure or this cannibalizing virus that saves the world. Yet she's introduced in one scene developing a virus. And also Ice Cube's son is this hacker that the federal government is issuing a massive manhunt for. It's just three huge coincidences that are treated like nothing. And it's honestly just kind of ridiculous. It's an absurd movie. It's definitely fun to watch. And Ice Cube going eat it up, bitch, eat it, while the alien machines eat the virus. It's funny. Ice Cube is so good in this role. I feel like Ice Cube, it's not a movie like this. I'm glad he was cast. He makes it so fun in a role that otherwise could have just been boring and bland. Ice Cube adds this animation to it, makes it so fun. But the movie's terrible, but it is a so bad it's good movie, and it's earned that just because of how ridiculous it is, and yeah, because Ice Cube's so committed. But in the end, War of the Worlds isn't so much a reimagining of a classic as it is a cautionary tale about how to not adapt one. It mistakes a gimmick for a vision, reducing one of science fiction's most enduring stories into a flat corporate product. So guys, thanks so much for watching this review. Let me know what you thought of War of the Worlds, if you hated it, if you loved it. See you on the next review, guys. Let me know what movies you want to review. Thanks for watching again.